We're live. Henry McClure live.
Is it going?
Yeah, I think that microphone's on. I got my friend Tyler Wible. Hey, plug the top plug in. Just for the fuck of it. Or excuse my language. This is not a. This is not a. There we go. We got the studio lights on now. Tyler's a real estate developer here in Topeka, Kansas. He's looking at buying some of the projects that I'm working on. How you coming on 21st and Adams with your convenience store guy?
We haven't heard a ton back from them, realistically. I need to reach out to them this week and see where they're at. They seem really interested. I know the city itself is really interested in doing the project. They want to see something go there.
The planning department seems to be all over that.
Yeah, we had a development meeting with, or a pre-application meeting with the planning department, so they had everybody there, and there wasn't a single negative output on any of it. A little bit of back talk from the traffic engineer guy, but other than that,
Yeah, I got to get that thing. I'm going to have to move that thing over a little bit. Here, I'll turn up the microphones a little bit. Here, give it a test. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think you're coming in all
It's
right.
probably coming in.
Well, you're a soft-spoken guy anyway,
Yeah.
which is nice. I got to get this thing set up. You know, it's a work in progress. So I'm working today on making sure everything with Dave Mahoney's up and going. Double checking. I'm here today to double check on all Henry McClure's work. You know, what am I doing? Are all my listings up to date? Am I advertising? Today is to memorialize McClure Real Estate.
We got to use those signposts that we made. Those things
I
are
know.
really
I
neat.
got to find out if Dave's got that.
Auger it.
Yeah. Now something's happened over here because this thing, or maybe it's just not plugged in. I got it to where you can call in. There we go.
And it'll just come through that little speaker.
Yeah, so you could call in. And I think what I'll do, back in the day, did you ever drunk dial?
Trunk dial.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Get tuned up and then start calling people.
No, not usually.
You know, like, what up?
It's like 3 in the morning, not usually.
Oh, no, you don't have to do 3 in the morning. Drunk dialing when you're an alcoholic like I was could be in the middle of the day.
Well, see, when I had a problem with alcohol, it was definitely more of a. I didn't drink during work, so it was always after work. So I had a small window of opportunity. You know, you work 12 to 16-hour days, and then you just cram it in as much as you can.
Hey, look, I had to find a profession that I could drink and work.
And work at the same time. Yeah.
And real estate happens to be one of those professions.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's not a big part. Of
No,
my life now.
not. Sometimes being a general contractor, you lose a little respect from the employees all tuned up.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I'll drink a couple beers with the guys. but-
Well, I'm not a hater about
No,
it.
I got you, but I mean,
You never met drunk Henry.
No.
You meet
No.
sober drunk Henry.
So,
I mean, you can imagine.
based off the stories, I don't see it.
Oh, the stories that are out there, they're all true.
How you
Hey, I don't try to hide from my past.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like drunk Henry and sober Henry were very much the same person.
It's
You
just one doesn't have alcohol in him.
You know, you're making a little bit better decisions, a little bit more clarity.
I don't know. I'm elected to have you as a friend, so I don't know.
Yeah, you might have still been coming down off.
In spite of my better judgment.
Yeah, at the time you were only 5 years clean and sober, I think, when I met you.
Well, it was a good start.
Yeah, exactly. So you were still weaning off.
Well, and I thought about that. I think about it quite often about so time. You know how valuable. You know, I don't have much concept of time,
Yeah, no, I understand.
but when I think about time, you know, what have I been doing since the day I transcended? Have I been using that time wisely? And
Well, I think it's kind of hard to judge. It's like when you're learning something new, because I think you kind of got a lot of learning curve, and now you're doing all this maturing. So I mean,
the maturing is amazing. The emotional.
when I met you 3 years ago compared to now,
Well, what's so funny is you watch me mature, and I say that to Bentley on. Um, I know when I'm about ready to make a mistake, and I'll tell you about it. Like the fans.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I shouldn't make a deal about those fans. And then, sure enough,
yeah. It's always just. I think it's about measuring the room and what people are willing to make a deal on, and how much. There's always an extent of the deal. And it's at what point do we meet that final point in the deal where we're not going to get any more.
so you'll understand this because you're one of the few people, you and Bentley on, and a few others, but understand what make me tick. So I ran into this girl that at Classic Bean, and I didn't know who it was. I'll admit, I needed to get a refill, so I bellied up to get my refill, and then I happened to know the person. And this is a person that goes clear back to high school that I've always admired physically and mentally. I've always admired. My dad always had a saying about, find a smart girl because, like, after sex is done, you got to have something to do.
Yeah.
That was my dad. That was my dad's sole advice on a relationship. And he used a different vernacular when he described it, one more that a Neanderthal man can understand. But so Christy, anyway, this girl, she's talking about how in my life how full of shit I was.
Yeah. About 5'10" worth.
Full of shit. Just yap yap yap. You're so full of shit. And then if I would have been smart, I would have said, you're right. Because back in the day, I used to admire your beauty and your knowledge. And today, the way you're treating me, I am full of shit.
Yeah, I get where you're going.
Yeah, I know. It's not worth even wasting any time about.
Time it's just, but it's funny when you're done with an argument, you think about, oh man, I could have said this and it would have been better.
No, there's a whole mythology about that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you stopped by for coffee.
Yeah.
I always, I drink the hell out of coffee.
Yeah. Well, there was a time when you took a break from coffee.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to make sure I could do it almost a year. And then I thought, well, why? I get something.
Yeah. It's not like it's terrible for you.
Man, I'm telling you, this morning, my breakfast was, first I chopped up my garlic, get it aromatic, and then put the olive oil on it. And you got to use cold pressed extra virgin. And as you drink it, if it burns your throat, you got the right olive oil.
Well, it's very important to do it out of a martini glass, I found as
well. Well, I had those martini glasses from Wild Horse.
Yeah, pink, yeah.
But isn't it perfect because you can chop them up? You got the side.
And it gives you enough, I think it gives you, how much olive oil to use.
Well, it makes me relive my days. Hey, but
you're not hurting your liver, you're helping your gut.
Oh, man. How about, have you ever tried that, sauerkraut juice that I drink?
Yeah, you've had me try.
I got some coming. But all of a sudden, it's the best thing to detoxify your liver.
Yeah.
So then after that, I made a concoction of lion's mane, my seaweed.
It's a great mushroom, lion's mane.
And then I put a little of that chocolate stuff in it. The protein, that chocolate protein, the cacao. And then my blender, like my best blender I had, I looked at it and there was like the more I'm cleaning up my shelves, I'm finding stuff. Yeah. And so it's got like a beater. Mm-hmm. And so I put all this stuff in one of my pitchers, beat it up, drank it, and I swear, after I drank that concoction, it was like this thing came over my forehead. Like back when I don't know if you've ever smoked weed. I've smoked weed before, but that it's like you get like I almost felt like it was dopamine washing my.
It's just a scalp tingle.
Yeah. What is that?
I think it's an overload of senses. The more drugs you do, it's affiliated with a lot of uppers.
Well, okay, I like to go fast.
Yeah.
I did
So-
speed, Black Beauties.
I think it's one of those things, like, and it might be a bit of a, like, it might also be a little bit of a like psychologically, like, all this stuff's really good for you. So it might.
Well,
get you-
even if it was that, just telling me, reassuring myself.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's still a good feeling.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the martini glass.
Yeah, it's like a rush.
And yeah, I did. I got a rush this morning, and I think it's the lion mane mixed with the cacao. It's the second day in a row.
Yeah.
And if it does it tomorrow, well, and okay, there could be worse things to get addicted to.
Yeah.
Lion's mane, sea moss.
Well, it's kind of like, when you get a little bit of an adrenaline rush when you're going in somewhere that you probably shouldn't be. Like when you go into an abandoned house or something like that. You kind of get on edge. But
Oh man, I'm telling you, see, nobody ever believes that there's a shy side to Henry McClure. Because I would throw myself in situations.
Yeah, but I think.
And part of the alcoholism, you could go to a situation when you don't know anybody. Wait, you need more coffee?
I'm all right.
All right. I saw you shaking it. But, you get a couple of cocktails in, and now you're just as stupid as everybody else in the room.
Yeah. Well, I think there's the more I've gotten to know you, and with kind of being more the adrenaline junkie type in your past, I think that one of the things about just like going into places, even if you don't feel like one, I don't know if you ever feel like you don't belong, but I do think that you probably get a little bit of a rush. But I think everybody gets a little bit of a general adrenaline rush when they go into something they think they're not supposed to be, because they get to think on their.
You mean
feet.
like looking at the mayor during the city council meetings?
Well, part of that, and like when we first went to the courthouse, we just went to the basement, and I was like, I didn't know you could come down here, and you're like, I'm not sure if you can either, but you just did it anyway.
Yeah.
And like when you're a kid, just wandering down to Fairlawn Plaza, all that stuff. I think it comes down to, I think a bit of it's just the adventure and the thought of maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this, kind of fed a little bit of an adrenaline. So
I hope. Here, talk again.
I think it's all picking up.
Yeah. I need to.
I probably.
Why don't you just slide it down, unscrew it real quick while we're doing the show? What does it matter? Why not do a better show?
Awesome!
There we go. You're one of the important people in my life. You really are. And your voice, I signed a 20-year lease with him, and
I thought it was 10.
with a 10-year option.
Oh, yeah. 10 year with 10-year options.
Yeah, you didn't read that?
Oh, I know it's in there.
Well, I'm not trying to hoodwink you.
Yeah, just put it. Well, I just gotta make sure.
Well, let's have total clarification here.
Yeah.
But
You stuck around me for 20 years.
I'm
That's
enjoying living downtown.
I think it's a great location. I think it was very hard when I first started showing people the building and everything. Nobody saw my vision, but then when you were in there and we walked through that one area, and I'm like, this area I'm not sure what to do about. And the only thing he says, Henry, house for Henry.
Is that what I said?
What you
Oh,
said.
that's funny.
We're walking through, and I was showing you because the demo guys were taking stuff out, and then we were taking out all those.
Oh, back to the fan project.
Yeah.
And I told you to have them do it all at once,
the fan-
didn't I?
Yeah, the fan fiasco.
The fans.
But yeah, I think it was just I tried to be able to salvage areas I could, and as I started to build, I realized I was like, man, I just don't want this. I don't want this. I don't like the quality of how this is built. It doesn't fit the plan. I'd rather this over a few inches. Like your space, realistically, if I was to do it over again, I would have them just gut that whole upper floor, not worry about working around anything.
Yeah.
And then
I know we were worried about working around walls for code and all that stuff.
yeah, and I just realistically, I would say 85% of the walls upstairs are completely brand new, 100%.
Anyway, it's a beautiful project. The trains don't bother me. The only thing that bothers me is the road from Adams from 5th to 8th.
Which is terrible. See,
Hey, now wait a minute. What about that road? That one nice commercial building that has gravel in front of it. Does that meet code?
nice commercial building, gravel in front of it. the old ironworks.
No, 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 no. You got Ironworks here. You got the nice building, with all the.
Oh, you're talking about the one where all the trucks come in. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's a shipping depot.
But that's gravel in front.
It is gravel in front.
So maybe that's a code violation.
I'm not sure if that is or not.
I'd have to look into that,
Hey,
Jimbo. Hey, but you know who's amazing? Todd Conkle.
Yeah. See, I met Todd because what I had done was I was cold calling people trying to find a building downtown. I knew the area I wanted to be in downtown. I knew I
Good
wanted
work
a space.
on Todd.
And so I walked into the vendor's market. If you haven't been there, that's run by a guy named Zach, but it was started by Todd. So when I went in there, it was still being ran and owned and
Have you
operated
seen
by
Zach, his family?
Pictures. I haven't.
Oh, man, he's got this beautiful wife, these beautiful kids.
Yeah, he's like, is it 2 kids, I think?
I don't know, but, man, get down to the vendor's market. You got to support guys like Zach.
He's also got Rehome down there as well. Oh, also, 520 Adams and 520 Fifth Street are not the same address. I've had 3 people walk into my building looking for Rehome. I think they're starting to figure out where it's at.
Well, I got to do some Henry McClure lives for Rehome down there.
Yeah.
I've been in Rehome.
Ingroff started Rehome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but Zach,
Ingroff had a really nice space
yeah, they just want to
out
get
on Forbes.
Yeah, but they're trying to get out of Forbes Field, and realistically, I think Ingroff.
Well, I don't think the real estate department out at Forbes Field's very friendly.
Well, and I think, Ingroff's such a busy guy, and he has.
And that was prior to Sneeden,
Yeah,
pre-Sneeden.
Priestley.
Got to clarify that.
Yeah. So let's, if we go back to Todd on this.
Yeah,
one.
let's go back
So
to
when
Todd.
I cold called him, and so I walked into the vendor's market, and I said, "Hey, I'm looking at these spaces. Can I talk to the owner?" And they were like, "Well, right here, write down your number, your email, and here you can do this." And then like, this is our email. You can send something forward. So I sent something forward. I'm over here sending letters out to different people that own like bigger plots of land in the town.
Oh, you're
Making
true.
a
You're
building.
cold calling.
Yeah, and this is
Man, you got real estate in your blood.
let's see, this was 22, I believe, early on in 22.
Awesome!
And we and then I get a call from a number, and I just answer whatever. As long as it's a verified number, I'm answering. And it's Todd. And he's like, "Hey, my name's Todd. I've got an email from you." And I said,
Todd.
I was like, "You got to be a little bit more specific." And he said, "Hey,
Todd.
I know you're obsessed with that building."
That's funny.
Yeah.
But I admire Todd.
Yeah. So I had asked him because of the tract of buildings, I wanted to look at buying one of them and separating it through the city because I didn't see any renovations being done. And then it turned out that he was doing renovations. He was just kind of doing a bunch of tract building. He said, "I don't want to separate that, but what size building are you looking for?" I told him, I said, "I'm looking for at least 5,000 square feet." And I was like, "I'd like to be able to do a living area, have a garage area." And he's like, "Well, I've got a building that's a bit bigger around here."
And I think he sold it to you at a good price.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Realistically, like I know what he bought it for, and then I know what he had done to it. So really, I got it at cost that he had for, and he just didn't have enough time to keep adventuring off. I mean, he owns the Capitol Journal building, and he's done a lot of great work.
I'm going to buy the Capitol Journal building from him someday.
Yeah, we gotta put the.
You know what I want to
development
do?
offices.
What do we got to do?
I think
You looked up there for something.
I was thinking like a development office up.
I want to have a development office right across from the city of Topeka.
I want the upstairs.
You know what I want to put in the bottom?
What's that?
God's storehouse.
Yeah, that's a good. It,
The
a great
the
location.
shipping thing for Ricky.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's a good location because you could do the whole downstairs. It's a warehouse.
And I
then
think
have
the
a
way to
store up front, up top.
well, no, I want the development office for up top.
Well, I know, but there's all those offices upstairs. That's where I put the development office, the third floor.
I want to be right at with those windows.
Really.
I got to have windows.
Well, I know. But
See, I like the front studio better than this
yeah,
studio.
we have to walk.
We
through
got
the-
to get. I got to get a TV up there with like pictures.
Yeah, there's a. Well,
But you like the studio.
Yeah, I do like the studio. I think the black helps everything pop. It shows.
I'm
what
really
we're
trying to
working on.
learn I
Your district.
yeah, but let's continue to talk about Todd
Okay.
because can I say one thing?
Yeah.
He's going to change. He won't give up on his idea.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Shell? Yeah.
Shell, the restaurant with chef.
Yeah, Shell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's got that church that just went in.
the
Victory,
church.
or that's going in.
Yeah, I just loaned them some shovels, gave a guy some safety glasses.
He actually just had me in there. What's funny is he had me in there. We were walking through talking about some electrical and stuff. He's like, "Hey, on fire code," and he's like, "We have a church coming in here." And he's like, "We're trying to do this. They want to put a stage over here." I had no idea it was the Victory Church that you went to the breakfast.
So I go to the men's breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, this is getting crazy because I work for the Orthodox Church.
Yeah.
I'm loyal to Grace Cathedral because I love Grace. And what's really nice is the 8:30 meeting.
Yeah, you said you like it. It's all just the
Because
meat.
it's the meat.
It's the message on.
Yeah.
They do communion or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do communion, the message, but you don't do
Yeah.
the singing. You don't do all the other parts of the
The
service.
pomp and circumstance. Because there's prayer stuck in that wall.
Yeah.
Those walls for me. And I got a picture of the Bantleon, Clifford Bantleon, in front of it in 1919.
Well, you know what I find
Tell me.
really interesting.
What do you find interesting?
Is your fire story.
Oh, the fire story's a killer. It breaks my heart.
Because you were just there.
At St. David's.
Yeah.
And Dad formed St. David's as the chancellor of the church. I was baptized at the original St. David's by a Henry Brule.
Henry Brule.
Yeah. Move that microphone up closer to you.
I think they can hear me.
All right. Well, it doesn't cost you anything.
Free of charge.
So Todd, it's like I don't know. I'm trying to give an analogy, but Todd has faith. It's his faith in himself.
Well, I don't think just in himself.
Well, no, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I think because he's
so convicted. He's not convicted. He hasn't been convicted. But his beliefs.
He's a decent guy. I wouldn't say he's convicted of anything. Let's put that on the record. I wouldn't convict Todd of anything.
He might be convicted of knowing me, but no, he's a good dude.
Guilty by association.
He's just so. He sees it and he's going to see it through. That's what I mean. His convictions.
Well, I like Todd and the fact of he's interesting in the fact he doesn't give up and he knows what works in other areas. See, he's been a lot of places and he has a lot of property in a lot of different areas of the country. So for somebody to be so innovative and see things work and want to bring it to a place like Topeka, a place that he lives in St. Mary's, but he sees Topeka as home. He's here all the time. He wants to see it grow. He supports the downtown businesses. He went to that trip down to Arkansas to go see their redevelopment plan with their downtown. And, I think he takes a lot from it. He makes connections. He's a good judge of character, I think. There's a lot of a lot of beliefs him and I share about different people in Topeka and how he's been treated. And I think that when you're looking at his mission for downtown, see, the one thing that he did listen to me on was trying to not focus on the Capital Journal being the entertainment as much as I say you're putting all this time and energy. Let's just get this strip done, make this your entertainment, fill it, and then see what the.
Have you been in Topeka Social?
Yeah, I helped with a lot of the renovations.
Let me tell you something. That's nice.
Yeah, he's done a lot. I think it's a great venue. Last I knew, he was trying to get some work with like bigger companies that do events like once a year, like annual events, and just get them scheduled. So it's continuous customers. And
have you been in the basement lately of Jordan Bakery?
we did the renovations down there.
Because it smells so good.
Yeah, we
You got the humidity out of there.
yeah. So that thing, the floor's been painted, the walls have been painted, the trim's been
I
done.
think
the
you're going to need,
sheetrock's
there's
finished
some of
out.
you kind of need to float out the floor, though, in that one big room. They're going to put carpet squares down. Are they going to put them down in the dance? I don't know. It's not my job to butt
Well,
in.
a lot of that's supposed to just be a kind of like a lounge area for when they do events. So if they were to do weddings there or anything like that, it's
In the
supposed to-
basement?
No, they're not doing weddings in the basement. The basement's supposed to be the lounge. So they want to put like pool table, have a nice TV set up, a couple places to sit.
It's where they're putting the nursery for the kids.
All the
We'll
kids-
teach them how to play
yeah,
pool.
just-
All right. I digress. Hey, you want some more coffee? I got it right there.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. All right. It's not. This coffee's not so bad today. Usually I make it to where it makes your hair stand on end. All right. So anyway, I know that you got stuff to do, and I appreciate you stopping by
Yeah.
and coming on. But I think between what he's done at Jordan Bakery, what he's got going down on the Topeka Social,
Yeah.
and what
And he's got the Jordan's Bakery right next to that. The Victory Church is going in. Then we have and the Shell. Yeah, he wants to put that there.
and I think that he's got some sort of plan.
Topeka Social, Rehome, and then the vendors market. And that's not even counting
The second level of Jordan.
no, the second level of Jordan's where they're talking about being able to put like big events and stuff too. But the third and fourth level, second, third, and fourth level of the vendors market, that the end.
Man, the third and fourth level, I don't know what's going on the second. I don't really remember it. But third and fourth, they're all shelled. I mean, just
well, so is the
perfect for housing.
So is the second level. It's just the second level.
Why are we doing RHID? Why isn't he doing it? That's one thing I like about Todd. He doesn't need me.
Yeah. I think it's just about being, a man can only do so many projects.
Yeah,
at
I
once,
got it.
And I think that's where it's at. I think he wants to finish out all the buildings and then focus on that. I mean, you have to think all he's done is clean up the Capitol Journal building. There's a lot to do with that.
I told a friend called just a minute ago, and like, hey, I haven't heard back from you.
Mhm.
Well, the phone goes both ways,
Yeah,
but
that's my favorite excuse too with people.
yeah.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
But you know something?
What's that?
I don't want any more clients. You know what I mean? I just want to go to work for myself.
Well, on the whole Todd thing with Adams, what I find interesting is what they classify that road. See,
What do you mean classify it?
Well, so like when you remember when I worked with Braxton on getting the street lights,
Right.
and thanks to Braxton because we did get street lights there.
Braxton,
They were-
thank
did-
you.
Yeah, did a good job. We got 2 of them by my building, and then we got 2 more put in on Adams itself to help light it up, and it does help. But they don't have that road as a high traffic road.
Bullshit.
But it is a high traffic road. I don't know how to get that reclassified. I don't know how to do that.
Well,
study.
you know something? The MTPO,
Would have been,
who hasn't even met in 3 years
Would-
personally.
would be the people to go to.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the number one thing we got to do in this community is put the planning commissions back together.
We ought to talk to our friend Joe about it.
Joe,
Ledbetter,
Big Joe.
Big Joe.
I like Joe.
Yeah.
I need Joe to tell Kevin Cook about 49th Street back in the early days. See, Joe used to have a burr under his saddle against Go Topeka and Doug Kinzinger and where all the money was going.
Yeah.
I need that Joe back.
I think he's.
Hello,
still-
hey Joe.
I think he's still there. I think he just got. I think fighting a battle like that on your own gets you worn out.
And I think I'm guilty of it too. I got my pound of flesh
Yeah.
out of selling the land with Dana Kay on 49th Street. And Joe always used to say, well, that'll shut you up for a while.
Yeah. He was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not. Joe's a good guy.
And so my deal with Dana Kay, I'll just tell you,
Mhm.
was the land was worth X amount of money at the time.
Yeah. Today, this is the cash.
Yeah, like 3,000 an acre.
Gotcha.
Now you get in, and I signed a development agreement, and my job was to add value to it. You know, using influence, salesmanship, whatever.
Yeah.
We did a study to put a interchange there. We did a break and access study. And if you did that,
The value went up because you have all
well,
the information.
but also too, it would give better traffic. So what you want to do is you want to take traffic where you can off of the surface streets.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, your main road. Yeah, your main road.
Yeah. Less maintenance. So get
Even
the
less.
heavy traffic off of the surface streets,
Mhm.
and then you got better ingress and egress for the whole Commerce Park.
Well, it's when your roads wear evenly, it helps out everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
for
this
sure.
is what political Henry thinks about now.
Okay.
Let's talk about the maintenance shop
The maintenance shop.
with the
Yeah,
city.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about maintenance on the vehicles. So let's talk about the gas station.
CCO.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the city, the gas station for the city is at the end of Adams, right?
Yeah, and that area is all taken care of. The prison area is taken care of.
Well, yeah, but how many cars go over the really bad part?
Well, I'm
Create more maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of police cars that go over Adams, you think that with the amount of tires and everything and alignments they go through, that they would.
Well, think about how many
do it.
times do you see police cars going over to Oakland?
Yeah. I always well, you see a bunch of them underneath that bridge over there.
What do you mean, smoking cigarettes?
It's their favorite break spot. I think they interchange.
Hey, but I like them taking a break
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because really from right there, all jokes aside, from right there, you can see the traffic off Jefferson.
Yep.
See the traffic down Adams.
Yep.
You can see the traffic down 4th, and you can see people coming over the bridge. So it's a pretty good vantage point in there, and there's a way that they can horse their way out of all.
Yeah,
that
but you
stuff.
can jump on, if you get a call,
Yeah, and then when you run out of gas from sitting there all day.
yeah, you just go down and fill it up.
Exactly.
Helping
Oh man, this guy's been patrolling for a long time. His gas card is just always working.
And that's kind of, you can find 100 things to pick on about it, but I'm trying to find the good side.
No,
It's
I
like,
know, but my sincerity about the vantage point is there. I do think, and I do like them there because my building's over there. I like them there because it's actually a very high traffic area, and there's a lot of traffic that goes down there. And as for Todd, like I wouldn't want to put more money in the Capital Journal if all the roads leading up to it. I mean, you got to look at what is that 7th Street right there? That's all tore up. Adams is all tore up. The only one he has that's good is right there next to the planning department, which isn't even as high a traffic a road, but they got it.
I think Todd is such a talented developer that we might be lucky to have a guy like that in town because he does it from real estate. Think about, there's nothing, I mean, look what Cody Foster's done,
Yeah.
but it's because he's got so much money.
Well, and he's got the clientele to fill what he wants. He's doing it for his people, right?
Who?
Cody Foster.
Well, he's doing it for himself.
Well,
I mean,
he
you
just
build a
wants-
hotel,
Yeah.
so your clients can come in and have a nice place to stay.
That's what I'm saying. You got the pennant. You try to put some areas.
And
in there.
trust
I mean,
me,
the Gage Center. I mean, he's doing a lot of stuff.
look at what
down
he's done. Everything,
Yeah.
and now the mall.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
He just if he single-handedly rehabs Topeka, it's not the end of the world for me because I get to enjoy it.
And I was talking to Howard Paul the other day, who's done very well in real estate, about Klossman, and he goes, "Nah, don't bag old Klossman so much because,
Yeah.
when he's focused, he does good."
Yeah, I think ultimately he knows what he's doing. I think
Well,
it's
yeah.
just-
Well, and also there's also a point. No matter how much money you got, and you got money, it sure makes you look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's harder to fail when you can throw money at projects.
Well,
And that's not me
No.
being hateful.
no, I mean it's hard to hate a guy that's got money, right?
It's hard to hate it and never count another guy's money.
Yeah.
All I want is the guys like Todd to come to town and be able to be successful on their own.
Well,
because he's doing it just off the real estate deal.
Well, and here's the whole thing with Todd is a lot of times developers and what they do, we try to do at development. You and I try to do a one-stop shop from idea to getting the keys in the hand and making money, right?
Right.
Try to be there the whole time. And a lot of people are just, okay, let's get them in the right building, lined up with the right contractor, at the right land, boom, and then they're done with it. And see, Todd, he's doing what we try to do for clients, all for himself. Find the building, find the location, start the business, get somebody to run the business, get out. I mean, because he gets the ones.
Well,
that
like
he
he
wants
started the business and sold it.
Yeah, the vendor's market. He started. He got it running. It had good books. He sold it. He didn't even sell it to a point to where he made like tons of money off of it. He sold it at a point where the guy could take it and keep it running.
Well, yeah. What's important is to make sure that Zach can pay the rent.
Yeah, because he's going to make the money back over the rent over time, and then it's also about just keeping a business there that you know is going to drive the traffic and help you move it. And they're really busy on Saturdays. And talk about the time that See, the problem is when the city is off and not looking at stuff like that is when it's the busiest.
Oh, that doesn't mean nothing.
Well, I mean, look at when you're driving through, and the highest traffic that you
see, I don't look
down on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I get it.
It's not as busy. If you go on a Saturday, it's a lot easier to push that we need that road done.
So I'll do a Henry McClure live on a Saturday.
Bingo.
And then he built that parking lot over there.
And then,
but he cares.
Yeah, he just wants the area to do good. He wants to do good. He wants to revive it. He got into the right area. I think it's right off downtown. They've spent all this time to build up downtown, and I'd say when we had the common area drinking, where they put all that stuff downtown, and in Nodo, where if you have special cups sold by businesses downtown.
What is it called? The common consumption or something?
Common consumption district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in alcoholics for that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people see the problem with Topeka that I see is that I would say 80% of the things that are passed through city council most people don't know about. And I think that as a city, we need to do better about educating ourselves.
Well,
because they post these things on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, now we're gonna have alcoholics downtown. Now we're gonna have all these bones."
I'm already here.
Well, exactly. Well, the whole thing, and then, but they don't realize that you have to have the cups from downtown. Like you have from the businesses, they have special cups that you can get, and then you can carry your drinks around there, and it's all marked off anywhere out. And then it's just. People need to be more educated about what's going on in their own town. You can't complain and say you don't like Topeka.
Well, and that's I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And what I'm really getting sick of too is people that just complain to complain. You can lose your whole spirit finding everything to complain about. A friend of mine said the other day, he says, when you're talking politics, you need to say something nice, tell the truth, say something nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to pin you as just
the negative guy.
The negative. Nobody wants to be around the negative guy.
Well,
I don't.
Well, and here's the thing. Staying in Topeka I always wanted to stay in Topeka. I want to make Topeka better. And then as I've gotten older and the more that I've dealt
You're
with
becoming jaded.
Yeah. And I try so hard not to be. And I still want to put my time and effort here, and I want to make these things happen. And that's really why I got into development in the first place. One was affordable housing, and two was to increase people's quality of life. The quality of life matters where you're at. I really do like the Overland Park area, and I think a lot of it...
Oh, man, Bentley-on does.
Yeah, and a lot of it's because you have nice things to do. You have a city that cares. And
Have you been in downtown Overland Park?
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. And, you got living space, you got restaurants,
It's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, and the thing is it's just when you go down there, there's a quality. There's they have little markets. See, everybody focuses on markets. The downtown, one point that you made when we had gone to our friend Fernando's market
Yeah.
was, how is there a food desert downtown when you have such a nice
And
market?
you've got the meat market over here.
Yeah, Leonard's Meat Market.
Leonard's Meat. It's like it's a grocery store. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
You can go get any type of meat you want.
Yeah.
They throw deals all the time. It's not more expensive than a regular
Have you
grocery
been
store.
to the new Tortilla Jacks?
I have not, but they just went. Yeah, they moved in that old Sonic.
Yeah.
Or next to the old Sonic location, that one that's been a bunch of different.
All right. So the point I want to make about Todd is that we've got to make it to where the Todds of America can come to Topeka and develop. If we get the Todds of Topeka developing, they'll fill in the gap between the Klossmans and the Fosters.
Mm-hmm.
And also, too, we got to make it to where the Sterling Scotts of the world can...
There's a lot of people that we deal with that don't want to deal with Topeka again. And I'm surprised Todd's put up as much of a fight to stay in Topeka as he has. He's a guy that just doesn't give up.
No, he doesn't. And so I'm going to buy some land. You know, I want to quit working for people. I really do. Because I can't get anything done. How can I market myself as a deal maker when I can't deal with the Topeka? And if Banks just abandons me on the Pizza Hut and the 2-year thing, I'll be really disappointed.
Well, the problem with when you get into politics is that a lot of people do it, and then their next focus is how to get reelected. Well, if all you were was to serve one term and get a lot of good things done, and that's all you got out of being in politics, it's worth being in politics. And that's where...
give me one term. Yeah, I like that idea.
I think...
Hey, give me a year. Give me one term. Let me see what I can do in a year.
See, the problem is like when you get career politicians and what they face is their first priority is to get elected. The second priority is to get reelected. After that, it doesn't matter. So, but if you went into politics with the idea of like, hey, I got voted to make these changes, and this is what I think is the right way to do it. If I go in there, I make these changes, I do good, and then I don't make it after 4 years.
The number one thing I want to do is put the planning commissions back together because Vic Miller took it apart. And I think Vic Miller taking apart the Metropolitan Planning Commission has been one of the single largest setbacks in this community. And I don't know why anybody would vote for Vic Miller for anything. In fact, here's Bantleon said this to me when Bianca was presidential election, and she goes, Dad, I don't want to vote for Hillary because she doesn't seem like the right person. But I don't know why I should vote for Trump. And even Kevin Cook said that to me. You know, why do you want to vote? Make it to where people want to vote for you for, you know, why vote for Henry McClure? Well, I want to put the planning commission back together. I want to make sure that the streets that were on the ballot get all approved and fixed. I want to redefine what is economic development in this community, and I want to get the public involved. So if you want to vote for Henry McClure, vote for those reasons. You know, put me in, give me 4 years to make that work.
Yeah.
And then I go back to my own business.
Yeah. And I think that there's a way to get people to see that if you go in the direction of just 4 terms, like, okay, or, 4 years, or your single term, whatever you got, 2 years, 4 years.
You know, that's interesting.
I think if you just look at it can this
You
person,
come up with some interesting stuff from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that one down.
I have to have a couple good ideas here and there. Gotta earn my keep.
I got hope for you. But you know Blackburn?
Yeah. Oh, I love Blackie.
Okay, so he's running against Aaron Mays. You know, Aaron Mays shut us down, masks, everything. I've got personal issues with Aaron Mays from the real estate industry.
Has Blackie talked to Linnell yet?
I don't know.
I think that would be a good conversation. I think she'd like him a lot.
Well, I went out to the meeting of all the precinct chairs,
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron Mays really wasn't a popular topic at the.
Well,
And I think he ran unopposed last time, and he was anointed originally. His dad is a big wheel, so he's a coattail boy. But Aaron needs to be kicked to the curb, and people that remember Blackie as a like a recalcitrant city councilman to uppity, yeah, I think he did a lot. But Blackie's mellowed as much as I've gotten sober.
well, here's the thing. What I like about him, right, is that he is a book by the book guy. He knows the
Oh,
work.
he's by the book.
Yeah, and he just doesn't want to put up with people not doing it the right way. Everybody needs a fair deal, and everybody needs to follow the rules. That's how he is, and he's great with numbers.
And he is a numbers man.
He is a numbers man. He loves numbers. He's good at it. I mean,
He's going through the numbers right now of the county and the city, and we're going to figure out why there's a $6.5 million shortfall in the road project.
yeah, I tell you what, if there's somebody I think would find the answer, even with everybody trying to cover it up, that's Black. He's gonna find it.
And this is a fact that he spoke with the FBI.
Go to Pika.
Yeah, he did. It's a fact, Jack.
Yeah.
Why the FBI was investigating it, and maybe Joe Ledbetter might know that.
He might have been a big part of it.
You never know.
Never know.
I was just minding my own business, trying to make a living in.
Yeah, they already bought you off.
Oh, that's funny. Well, 217,000 is my price. I'm thinking about. Well, no. What's really shitty about that deal is that city councilman Bob Haynes made $4,500 more an acre than Dana Kay and I, and his land wasn't even in the Commerce Park.
Well, it's not about what you know.
No, it's just like,
Ain't about what you have.
man, I'm telling you. And you know what? Life's not fair.
Yeah.
Life's not fair.
You live life trying to be fair. You're not gonna make it.
Yeah, life isn't fair. And it's almost like make a satirical commercial. Hey, move to Topeka, join the Greater Topeka Chamber of Commerce, donate $150,000 to the Visioning Committee. Now you're set.
Yeah, it's hey.
Pay to play,
If
baby.
you don't feel important enough, join Forge. They'll help you.
Forge the license plate.
Oh, that's what's keeping people in.
Yeah, they're people, and $50,000 of our economic development goes to Forge.
Yeah.
It's they're brown shirts. Do you know what the brown shirts are?
No.
Okay.
I know the brown pants joke.
The what?
The brown pants is like.
No, the brown shirts were like the Hitler Youth.
Oh. Okay, I wouldn't go.
I love history.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him Hitler. I wouldn't put him in the same category.
Following
Let's not put that.
following the chamber.
Yeah.
Hail Parvarnak. Hey, I want to sell the Lake Sherwood Facebook page.
So you don't have,
Hey, that'll be economic development.
So you don't have control over it anymore.
Yeah, so I need $100,000
It's fine. You just buy it all.
in a brown paper bag. That's funny.
All
All right, we're just some of this is meant to be funny.
I'm laughing. That's at the end of the day. That's all I.
Man,
try
I
to
told
be funny for.
I was talking to somebody, Bill Rapon, the other day, and he goes, "What is Forge?" And I said, "Well, they're the brown shirts."
Well, the problem is that it's just it's to brainwash. It's to get people in there. Most of them they just have kind of dead end jobs, but they want to be a part of something bigger. It's just leading on. That's all it is, and they get people to pay into it. They get people to go to their events, and it's all supposed to be networking. But hey, if I work for Cody Foster and you work for Cody Foster, all we're doing is networking cubicles, and I just don't understand. Hey,
Well, I'm no longer.
I'm a bartender, and you should come to my. You should come on Thursdays when I get to bartend. Otherwise, I'm working at Lowe's. It's just it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm no longer going to pick on Molly Howie of
Yeah.
Go Topeka or Matt Pavarnak because they're just taking orders from Calla Haggard. She's chairman of the board of Go Topeka, and the board of directors needs to be held responsible for the oversight of where the economic development money's going. And hey, if it wasn't Calla's fault,
Whose was
it was the previous board member. And I can't believe the chairman of the board of economic development owed the county almost $8 million in back taxes. What kind of club are we running here?
Well, I think a lot of it just.
Well, I feel
It's
better.
it's a bag over the eyes. Wool
It
over the
is.
eyes. There's a.
It's coyote ugly.
It's all.
Economic development in Topeka is like a two-bagger.
Well, I think it's all a sleight of hand.
It is.
What cup has a shell underneath is really what it comes down to. And then
And then look at Todd.
yeah.
Todd's over there sweating it out, putting in his own money. And what's he ever gotten help?
Redoing sewer lines himself, paving roads. He has to put all the money up forward.
Did
to
he
get
pave that all in front of,
Yeah.
on the north side of the Jordan Bakery?
On the Jordan Bakery, yes. Him and part of that's his, part of it's BNSF, and he did his side. And it got it restriped. Over there on the west side, they put a new sewer line in, connected all for the buildings, and repaved it, redone it to city standards, and he had to put all that up front with a deal to get paid back for half of it. And I don't know if that ever happened. I mean, I know that he had to fight for it.
I don't
I
know.
knew he was still fighting.
But I'm pro Conkle. Want to make the Todd Conkles of the world
Yeah.
get a fair shake.
I wish he lived in Topeka.
Why?
I think.
He lives in Shawnee County, doesn't he?
Yeah, St. Mary's is part of Shawnee County, isn't it? Still, I think it goes into Pawnee.
I don't know. I should know that off the top of my. That's Bill Rapon's district.
Yeah, I'm just looking at let's see, Grove, Silver Lake, Rossville. I don't think it goes over. I don't think that's Shawnee County. But I think if he lived in Topeka, I think he'd make one really good city council person. Make a lot of things different.
Well, okay. I think that we're going to wind this show down. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah.
I had an idea. Tyler's the president of Agape Village, and we had an idea, and we'll talk about that on another show. But thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Henry McClure Live.